Hello and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Corey Pujols, your host for Palm Tree Sports, which is brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Happy Saturday afternoon. Got a few things to talk about. Not going to take too much of your time today, but we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to jump right into it, guys. We got a lot going on in college football. I missed you guys last week, so let's go ahead and hit this right here on the head. As you guys know, I'm a Gator. I'm a diehard Gator, which means I'm watching the game. Tennessee's playing good football, guys. We're in trouble, guys. But Anthony looks good. I gotta admit, he looks much more mature in the pocket. He looks more calm in the pocket. I'm impressed with his reads. I'm impressed with his progression, stepping up into the pocket, the poise that he's showing. Let's just hope he can continue this on into the fourth quarter and well throughout the game. Maybe this will be a statement win for him. Going in, knocking off Tennessee would be huge for us right now. It would be detrimental for Tennessee, of course, but it would be just such a big boost for us going into these next couple of games that we have. We have a gimme game next week, but a couple of weeks from now we're gonna go and we're gonna start hitting a tough skid. And I believe we have not LSU, but we have Georgia. We have South Carolina. We have goodness gracious, one other team that's ranked, and then of course there's the playthrough. Obviously, depending on what happens with the Florida Georgia game, obviously it's looking like Georgia, but Georgia left some stuff on the table today, and they let Kent State score a little bit. So we took note of that. I took note of that at least. Maybe there's a receipt there, something to learn from and take advantage of. Going forward for us and for any other team for that matter, obviously, everybody would like to knock off the defending national champions. So, very impressed with Anthony Richardson and what he's doing today. The play calling could be a little bit better. I think the defense needs to step up. Ventrell Miller's playing his heart out, but he's just one guy. So we need everybody else to come on, bring it on through for us. And that's it for the Gators right now. Guys, this game is definitely, like I said, it's a big one. It's conference. Tennessee hasn't played Kentucky yet, so depending on what happens there, right? There's always a possibility. Not running anything in stone, but there's always a possibility. The touchdown by Justin Schroeder was just absolutely amazing. Great catch, great run after catch, great truck, great finish. Tennessee's doing really good. They're playing good football. Receivers are laying out for the quarterback. So let's move on to Florida State. Florida State hasn't played yet. Florida State will play tonight at 8. They have Boston College lined up. They're hosting. So, hey, you guys got a home game? Good for you guys. That's going to be very helpful. I think you guys will do fine. I think y'all are going to go ahead and beat the brakes off of Boston College. I can't wait to see what happens, obviously, watching for my own reasons. But let's talk about next week, because next week's going to be a big test for you guys, because Wake Forest just went toe-to-toe with Clemson, okay? And barring the overtime itself, obviously it could have gone either way. You're talking about a play call difference here. They went toe to toe with them. I don't suspect that Wake Forest will drop out of the top. Excuse me, my apologies. Drop out of the top 25. I wouldn't drop them out of the top 25. So lost to Clemson, who's ranked 5th. So that's what you come to expect. I do believe, though, that you guys will not lay down, obviously. I believe you have a shot at this game, a very good shot at this game. Let's see what happens. Let's see how Jordan Travis is doing, obviously, because, I'm sure he's been a little banged up a little bit recently, and if he plays a good game, you guys can win. It's very much so that simple. Again, Wake Forest is a good team, but, it's about who wants it. If you guys want it more, you will get it. That's what it comes down to. I don't have any noticeable injuries off of Florida State. I do realize that you guys you guys haven't played your rest of the ACC opponents yet, right? So no Miami, no Clemson yet. So obviously this game is going to be the first big test for you guys going up against them. Like I said, you guys did good against LSU, so I think you guys can do it here. After this, though, after Wake Forest, you got NC State, you got Clemson, okay? So those are going to be big. Georgia Tech is a gimme, but then you get Miami, all right? Syracuse, they're playing decent football. They won a game against Purdue a couple of weeks ago that really showed what they could do. I thought Purdue was going to win that game. They did good. So Obviously, Louisiana, Raging Cajuns, and then you guys wrap it up with the Gators in rivalry week. So, as always, I'm always going to touch on that schedule, especially assessing how you guys play week to week. There's been, a couple of close games for you guys, but again, you guys are going to get out of Boston College. It should be a big confidence booster for you guys en route to your tough 3-game schedule against Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson. Best of luck to you guys. For the most part, obviously, except for when you play Florida, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to go ahead and continue the tradition. We got to get these dubs here. So, and we're gonna rock with it like that. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we get back, we're gonna talk NFL. Got a couple of games going on tomorrow. My apologies, and next week, of course. But tomorrow we have NFC Game of the Week, Packers versus Bucks, and we're gonna jump right into that as soon as we get back. Again, my name is Corey Pujols, your host for Palm Tree Sports, brought to you by IE Sports, your IE Sports Radio. That is, my apologies, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, now.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' to NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal Sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal Sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
All right, guys, welcome back to Palm Tree Sports. Again, my name is Corey Pujols, your host, and it's brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, as I mentioned before, we just covered college. Let's go ahead and jump right into the NFL. So, we're always going to start things off with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to be playing the Packers tomorrow. That's NFC Game of the Week, if I'm not mistaken. Tom versus Aaron for probably the last time. This is going to be probably the main topic for Tampa Bay today as far as the outlook of the first 4 games is concerned, right? Because we know that across the board for everybody, it's looking a little bit different than we all thought it would, right? So, for instance, I'll touch on the Jaguars for just a second. The Jaguars, they absolutely destroyed the Colts. Nobody saw that coming, right? Well, maybe some Jaguars fans did. they saw it coming for sure. But, blanking the Colts, as a former division rival to, the Falcons' former quarterback, Matt Ryan, I can tell you right now, I don't think he's the answer. It's not something personal I have against him, not because he played for Atlanta, it's because I watched him play, and I understand he is a good quarterback, but do I think he's going to honestly take you to Super Bowl and win it? No. I don't think he's that guy. Indianapolis seems to be finding that out right now, but, that's props to the Jaguars. And, then you bounce back the following week with the last-second loss over to the Commanders. So, you really got to put that into position, right? Because the Colts are a better team than the Commanders, right? So, at least on paper they are. So, Jaguars, y'all are there. much like Tampa Bay is. And, that's going to be the focus real quick. I just wanted to touch on that for a second. But, with Tampa, everybody was saying this is going to, 4-game stretch is going to be nuts, right? Like, you're going against the Cowboys, who had a great team last year, played, tremendous offense. I think they're number one offense last year in football. So, that was big, beating them. And you have to go to the Saints, right? Play Jameis Winston. I want to talk about that for a second. As a Tampa Bay native, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, as somebody who watched Jameis in college, watched him in the pros. He played for Florida State, right? Obviously, so as a Gator, we watched him. He came over, he torched us, okay? His freshman season, destroyed us at the helm of Florida State. So I know the guy is gifted. I know he can, read plays, he can complete passes. But what he did in 5 years at Tampa is truly him. Not that he can't change, he has changed. Unfortunately, for him, that turnover issue is something that even the best can't escape. Ryan Fitzpatrick, for instance, late in his career was known for throwing interceptions as well. But he was also known for winning games and being able to hold a team down for a couple of weeks whenever the quarterback was out. That's what made him valuable. And Jameis is kind of fulfilling that role right now. As a Buccaneer fan, as somebody who's watched the Bucs lose to the Saints each of the last 5 regular season games, I think it was, and it's not been pleasant. To be honest with you, it's been absolutely horrible. It's been horrific. So this is what we've been saying the whole time as Tampa Bay fans have been. That is, that Jameis will turn the ball over. I watch a lot of football. And I watched a lot of football from before my time. I was born in 94, and the 93 Super Bowl was held in Pasadena, California, and it was the Cowboys versus the Bills. And this was to be the first time that the Cowboys were to beat the Bills, if I'm not mistaken. And, Jimmy Johnson goes into the team meeting the night before the Super Bowl, and he says, just make sure we're focused, and they'll turn the ball over. And ever since I was a little kid and I saw that quote, I kind of lived by it, especially with teams who have quarterbacks who lack focus in certain areas, especially when it comes down to checking the ball down, right? Jameis is such a quarterback. So now with Todd Bowles at head coach, who can freely call his defense and understand the film study that he's put in, that his team has put in, and know that they can get to their landmarks, and now we're seeing the best defense, in front of us right now, and Tampa Bay's doing a wonderful job with that. And they did a wonderful job against Jameis, forcing 5 turnovers, I believe it was, the 3 interceptions, including the pick 6. Jamel Dean had a monster day, 2 interceptions, shut down a scoring drive by the Saints. The pick 6 sealed the game, of course. There was a lot to make of it. We'll go ahead and unpack the fight as well, because obviously that was a big part of it as well. So, for anybody who doesn't know, I am always going to, stand with my quarterback. I'm always going to protect my quarterback, right? Because that's the guy. And it's not like our quarterback, with no disrespect intended here, but it's not like our quarterback is anymore Jameis Winston. It's now Tom Brady. That is the GOAT. There is a level of security, in my opinion, that comes with that, okay, when you have the GOAT throwing you the football. Now, some people say that Tom incited the fight, the argument. Some people say that Bruce on the sideline incited the argument. First thing I want to let everybody know is Jason Light was standing right next to Bruce Arians. Okay, that is our GM. Okay, he's not gonna let this craziness go down. And if there was somebody wrong, I would imagine that he would step in and intervene. Not necessarily on the field, but obviously start pulling people back and letting them know to remember that they have a job and to be professional. With that being said, for those who are wondering why Bruce Arians is on the sideline, to my knowledge, if I remember this correctly, there was no box. There was no upstairs box for Bruce to sit in. For all those who know, Bruce normally sits upstairs in the box while he's watching the game. So there were people that were complaining about that. I just want to nip that in the bud. The Saints didn't possess that area for the coaches, that weren't to be on the field. So obviously, and like I said, you see Jason Lake down there as our GM. He would also be up there in the box. He wouldn't be on the field if he didn't need to be. And also, for safety reasons, you don't need him around the players where they could possibly get hurt and things like that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, Lattimore, everybody wants to point the finger at Mike Evans because Mike Evans took the shot. We're not paying attention. The second guy always gets caught, right? So we're not paying attention to, or people are choosing not to pay attention to Marshawn Lattimore being on the wrong side of the field, being told to get on the right side of the field, right, and he has a problem. And then he wants to start something. So you can say Tom started, you can say Marshawn started. The bottom line is he's on the wrong side of the field, and he's fraternizing with the wrong people, and that's going to put him in the wrong. Obviously, Mike shouldn't have necessarily blown him up as much as he did, although I, again, do support taking care of your quarterback because, he did the same thing when his quarterback was Jameis. That's solid. That is consistency right there. So, much respect. Hats off to Mike Evans. Obviously, he's just doing what he can to protect his guy. Hats off to Tom, of course, because for those who don't understand that emotions flow like water, okay? And, positive emotion can turn into positive outcome. And the Buccaneers, that's what they did. They tuned themselves up. They made sure that they were focused in on what their goal was and never lost sight of that. And the Saints lost sight of it first, and that's what happened. That's how that game came out. So that was last week. This week we got Aaron Rodgers. I've studied Aaron. I like Aaron. I like the Packers. Obviously, I love the Bucs, but the Packers are a team that I'm a little bit more fond of compared to other teams in the league. And as a result, I can tell you one thing. The Packers are in trouble. Not because they can't win and not because they don't have a potent offense and or defense. But when they lost Davante Adams, that was, I'm always going to say this, that was huge because that guy was the reason why the offense could flow freely in the air. And specifically what I mean by that is now you have great running backs, okay? A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, okay? These guys, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Jones, I believe it is. They are both great running backs, very talented running backs. But we saw that with some good defensive play calling and then some good, running the ball between the tackles and also outside on offense, that the Packers team could be neutralized, okay? This is what I expect to happen again. I expect the defense to have more takeaways. I do expect there to be sacks, but the reason why I am expecting this and believing for this is because that Todd Bowles has seen Aaron Rodgers at his best. Okay, he's won MVP each of the last 2 years. Okay, and he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Okay, he's a great quarterback, phenomenal talent. Okay, he cannot do it by himself, and I think the Bucs will put him in a box and make him do it by himself, and if we're able to do that and we're able to click offensively, I'm sorry, Packers, but we're going to go ahead and run away with this one. Not because I'm underestimating you guys, because I understand what the game plan is. On offense, we're going to want to run the ball and extend the play fake. Obviously, you have good linebackers. You have a good defense in general. You have a good back end as well. And these guys are talented. However, my guys are talented as well. And I would believe that Tom is going to put our guys in the position best to succeed. And, I think that's what's going to come out of this game. So, with that being said, go Bucs, go. This is a big one right now. After this, I believe we have the Ravens. The Ravens just had a meltdown. Let's see how they do tomorrow. That's going to tell us what's going to happen into that game, right? Because if there's another meltdown, then we have something to build off of. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, Ravens. You guys are great. Phenomenal, I believe. But you can be had. And you will be had. You will be. So, good job, Bucs. We're still undefeated. Let's try to keep that thing rolling. Let's go ahead and stop the Packers. We always play them tough. Go, Bucs, go. Let's go ahead and move on back to the Jaguars. I touched on the Jaguars a few moments ago. I was very impressed, okay, with the victory over the Colts, that 24-zip, shutting them out. Listen, I watched Trevor Lawrence in college, okay? I watched him at Clemson. I watched Trevor Etienne at college, okay? Also at Clemson. Those guys, they know how to play football. Okay, they can do good things. I believe they can do good things. They got to be in position to do those things. Defense, you got to help them out a little bit, right? You helped them out a lot against the Colts, shut them out. Great defense. Second game against the Commanders. I don't know, guys. Like I said, this is not the best team in the NFC East right now. Okay, probably not even the second best team. All right, so probably not even the third best team. So, guys, I really would love to see you guys actually put the game away. Now, you guys have the Chargers. Chargers are a team, again, another team out west that I'm actually fond of. I was fond before they got Justin Herbert. Watch Justin Herbert in Oregon, the Quack Attack. That guy's gifted. I love his gunslinger mentality. So, that's a tough one, all right? It's a tough one. There's no way around that, all right, Jags? So, I'm thinking, the Chargers are going to get that one, especially if Justin Herbert's playing. If he's not playing, 50-50 ball game there, okay? After that, check out the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has those Eagles flying high, playing good football. You're going to have to put it together really good, right? Defense is going to have to play solid. Offense is going to have to make plays. After that, Texans, I would consider the next Colts game again because you blanked them the first time. And after that, then you get the Giants and the Broncos, two teams who are currently trying to surge. Giants doing a little bit better job than the Broncos, but the Broncos with a little bit more stiff competition. We'll see. After that, Raiders, Chiefs, rough. Ravens, rough. So, Jags, you guys are definitely going to want to come out of these next couple of games with some wins because there's a rough patch coming up, and I mean it's going to last a couple of games. So, Best of luck to you guys, of course. Defense, let's try to bring it back around and play like you did against the Colts. Offense, let's try to produce, right? Let's try to produce. And let's actually get over 30 points, right? Because if I had to break down football, right, in a generic state, like a generic form, if I had to give somebody just direct instructions to win the game, I would say keep the other team from scoring 20 and score more than 20, right? So that whether that be 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, like whatever it takes, right? But get over that 30 mark, right? Like you got to, or that 20 mark, my bad, 30 mark. Try to score 30 if you can, right? Obviously, try to make the game untouchable. You're gonna have shootouts. You got to expect this. You lost the first one to the Commanders. You guys got to bounce back, okay? So that's pretty much it for the Jags. I didn't have anything else outstanding for the most part for them. So like I said, all eyes are going to be on Trevor. All eyes are going to be on Trevor Lawrence and ETN as well, and we'll see how they do against these Chargers. Who are playing great football again behind a great quarterback and talented coach. So, Jags, good luck. Miami Dolphins. Guys, you guys are playing some serious football, right? I kind of expected this, okay, right? Got a little Tariq, a little Jalen Waddle going on. Tua's waking up. It was 6 touchdown passes, I think it was. Impressive. Very, very, very impressive. I like the concept. I like what's going on here. I like what you guys are doing. You're undefeated, huh? How about that? Okay, so, there's 6 teams that are still undefeated, so it's a smaller amount than there normally is the point that I'm getting at. So Dolphins look good against the Patriots first game. Look even better against the Ravens just the second half. The second half. We're not going to, visit the first half, right? And let's see if you guys can recover on defense, right? Because that's the thing right here. Obviously, giving up 38 points, that's a problem. You give up 7 points to the Patriots on the first game of the season. It's the first game of the season. That's a coin flip, right? Because, everybody's still getting into that groove. You're finally hitting a different team. Yada, yada, yada. What happened, guys? 38 points? Sheesh. It was something that you don't want to do again, right? Again, you want to keep the team from scoring 20 points. You gave up 38. It's a good thing your offense too and snapped point crazy, all right? You got the Bills coming up. You already know how I feel about the Bills, all right? That's a good team right there. Probably the best team in the AFC right now, barring the Chiefs, okay? So, you're going to have to play good football. There's no way around that one, guys, all right? So after that, you go to the Bengals. Bengals haven't exactly been themselves. Jets, that's a gimme for y'all. Vikings, that'll be a sneak game right there. If you guys sleep on the Vikings, they'll beat you. That's a team that I feel like will actually pull the second half of the season, will really start to gel and pull the offense together. That will be top 5, maybe top 10. We'll see what happens, but, it's a good team. Steelers, they're going to get that game. Lions, you should get that game. Bears, that could be a toss-up. Just depends on how good you guys play compared to their defense. If their defense doesn't show up, you guys win big. After that, you got the Browns. That'll be a good game, I think. It'll be contested if the Browns, run the ball effectively. We'll see what happens. Texans, that'll be a game that you should get that. 49ers, secretly going to be a good game. Chargers, if Justin Herbert's playing, you know how I feel about that. Bills again, division opponent. What are you going to do? Bills playing the best football in the league right now. After that, you got Packers, Patriots, Jets, couple of division games surrounded out. You got the Packers game. Don't pay too much attention to that. We'll see how good or how well Aaron Rodgers is doing at that time. When we get there, if he's doing well, we're in for a shootout. If not, again, you guys play good defense, you win big. So, Miami, just keep doing what you're doing. Except for clean up the defense, but on offense, keep doing what you're doing. You like getting better and better and better. Tua's getting more settled. I watched a guy in college, as a freshman come in, throw the game-winning touchdown pass against Georgia, win a national championship. Guy's gifted, okay? He's absolutely brilliant with the football in hand. Now, you just got to give him the weapons and let him cook, as they would say for us. And we're not in the NFC West, so we're not worried about West. Or, my bad, the AFC, what is that, West now that he's in, the Broncos, right? So, we're going to leave that right there. Let's go ahead and take our final break, and then we're going to get into some Rays ball and Lightning. I don't have much for them, but the Rays have played a couple of games recently. We'll talk about that. All right, guys? And, again, my name is Corey Pujols, your host for Palm Tree Sports, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, which is your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want. here to give ya what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. We're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
And welcome back to Palm Tree Sports. Again, my name is Sparkle Holes, your host, and it is brought to you by IE Sports Radio, which is your direct feed for all that is sports. And since I left you a moment ago, we said that we would come back and we're going to talk some Lightning and some Rays real quick. So we'll go ahead and get into that before we go ahead and wrap today's show up. So the first thing to note about the Lightning, obviously they're starting training camp. So that's underway. We're going to, hopefully get in some good practice, start to gel as a team, get some of the rust off, and get ready to preview this upcoming season, which again, it looks, as somebody who's been here for the last couple of years and watched what the Lightning have been able to do, watch the surgery, watch the playing, and the camaraderie and the ability that this team has the dog in them, if you will. Okay, it's been nothing, short of spectacular, and we're absolutely still humming. We believe that we have what it takes to go as far as we want to go. It's nothing more than I've said before, right? Because, again, until the season starts, we don't have much to go off of, But I'm so proud of these guys. I'm happy to see, them run it back and do what we can to get back to another championship. And it all starts here. It all starts here, with training camp and, just building, laying those bricks down as a foundation to be able to build onto something that becomes easier and easier as we go along throughout the season, as we adapt and overcome to different situations and different teams are going to present us with. Of course, there's still going to be teams out there that are going to be able to play good hockey. They're going to be able to keep up with us, okay? And, once the playoffs start, it becomes a different animal. Every game matters. Every possession matters. Every penalty matters. And having our guys there for the long run is also going to matter, knowing that we had, some injuries within the last couple of seasons, and we were still mostly able to pull things out. So let's go Lightning, let's go Bolts. Training camp just started again. Still missing, some of the guys that we lost in offseason, specifically Ryan. And it's like, it's just one of those things where now we're just going to have to come in. We're going to have to utilize this young talent, coach them up, get them prepared for what is to come, which is the start of the season. So, go Bolts again. Congratulations on starting training camp again, and let's go ahead and get this season underway. Let's bring it home. Let's see if we can do what hasn't been done in God knows how long and bring another title home back to Tampa Bay. So that's it for the Lightning, of course. The last team we're going to cover today, the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, of course. So we missed a bit since the last time I spoke to you guys. Now, the last time I spoke to you guys, I believe the Rays were finishing up their game against the Blue Jays, their series against the Blue Jays. They lost that final game Oh, my bad. They won the final game. My apologies. 11-0. Go ahead and blew them out of the water, which was a beautiful thing. Went over to the Rangers, also run one ball game. You guys know how I feel about run one ball games. Great teams win them. Okay teams lose them. We want to be a great team. All right. Following game against the Rangers, we went ahead and topped them 5-1, which is great. We want to see more of that, right? More defense, less pitching, more at bats. Okay. We want their pitchers to be at a high pitch count, not ours. All right. Second game, similar score, 5-3. Rays pull it out. Again, good defense, right? Good defense is the best offense. Offense is going to produce. Defense, you guys got to play. Gotta be there, sound mentally and together, and also know when you're playing in the double plays and effectively get into those situations and then get out, right? And get off the mound. So the next one up was against the Astros. This one was going to be tricky, knowing that Houston's playing good baseball. Specifically at this point, the 4-0 loss and then the 5-0 loss was big. Some what's like going on there, right? Rays, like come on, guys. Again, not playing defense, it doesn't translate into offense. That's obviously not good for us right now as we're heading into the postseason. The final game we did put up 2 runs, but it was now shake to 5, and Astros wrapped up that series with 3 games to ours 0. Back to the Blue Jays. All right, 10-5. Again, the defense there. We want to get off the mound. We want to keep them on the mound. Scoring 10 runs is beautiful. Did it again the following day, almost the exact same score, 10-6. Excuse me, my apologies. That's what you want, guys. We want to score. We don't want to give up runs. We're giving up some runs there. So today, the game probably just started on our side. Actually, the Rays versus the Blue Jays. The final game is going to be played tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, right, guys? 2 days, 2 wins. Let's go +1 over that 3-game loss that we had against the Astros. All right. Again, this is crunch time. We were talking about this before, right, guys? Heading into the final, few games of the season, the Rays are playing one of the toughest, final stretches all the way out. Okay, obviously, the Blue Jays being conference, series. So we're going to definitely want to wrap those up. And then obviously we got the Guardians and then the Astros again. We're going to have to avenge that 3-game loss to the Astros. We're going to have to really pick that back up and then wrap it up with the Red Sox again. The Red Sox recently, if I'm not mistaken, have been surging. Really, really questionable to see what's going on there. But, it's one of those things where I've said it every single time we've been on the podcast, right? Rays start surging towards the end. We're playing good baseball. We're going to make the playoffs. What are we going to do after that, right? I would like to think that this year is going to be different. We'll see. Especially knowing that we got the Red Sox there at the end of the season because, whenever we're playing the Red Sox, specifically the Red Sox or the Yankees in the final game, final series of the season to make the playoffs, whether we're in the playoffs or not, there's always some momentum give and take there, all right? There's always a mix between what could have been versus what happens, right? And that's the point that I'm making here. So hopefully we can come together those last 9 games after these two Blue Jays games, right? And just go ahead and wrap this season up with a great record, with a beautiful record. Walk right into the playoffs and continue on business there, and make it to the tippy top. Let's go get a World Series, right? As a Rays fan, again, I'll say this every time. We've been there before. We've been at the top, and we just failed to grab the brass ring. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we need to do. All right, guys. I am very, always impressed and proud of my Tampa Bay teams, specifically the Rays, given the situation we're talking about right now. And I would love to see them continue to go on and win, baby, just win, right? So Arozarena with the 6 RBIs, huge, right, guys? He's a monster. He's phenomenal, right? So of course we're gonna need more of that. Hopefully we can get more of that, and he can carry us on right on through the playoffs. So good job, guys. Let's go get these last 2 wins against the Blue Jays. Let's wrap this year up in style. Let's make it to the playoffs, and let's go from there, yeah? All right, you guys. Again, my name is Corey Pujols, your host for Palm Tree Sports, brought to you by Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. I want to say thank you again for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. For any of those who would like to, talk to me on social media, you can reach me at Corey Pujols at twitter.com. I'm there all the time talking sports. Thank you guys again, and have a wonderful day, okay?
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.